after completing his last mission, Agent Henry Brogan looked forward to retirement from his job as a sniper for the DIA. Yes, the agency is actually called the DIA in this thing. However, the agency isn't ready to let Henry go so freely into the night, and has in fact branded him a rogue agent, feeling the need to call in Gemini, a paramilitary soldiers of fortune group led by Henry's former CO in the Marines, Clay Yaris. To take Brogan out, Yaris has hand-selected a very special operative, Junior, who is in fact a genetic clone of Henry Brogan, bioengineered to not contain Brogan's sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Now Henry Brogan is on the run from his greatest opponent, himself. This is Gemini Man. So, I've been trying to, obviously this is a massively late review, and I do kind of apologize for that. The weather got in the way. Anyway, this movie is 2 hours long, and I think, I haven't read a lot of the reviews, I've been trying to avoid it, but I have seen some negative ones that said it was really boring. I don't think that. I think it did a pretty good job of filling its 2 hours. I'm guessing because people thought this was an Ang Lee film, that there would be a bit more of an artistic flair to it. You know, something like, say, The Hulk or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I didn't hate Ang Lee's Hulk movie as much as a lot of other people did. It had its flaws, but I hope that was pointing at the Hulk poster. I think it is. Anyway, I mean, it had its flaws, but I think sometimes it got bogged down in its own minutia, and this one really didn't. I mean, there are a few kind of plot holes in this, like when Henry and Junior first see each other. Like, Henry clearly can see that it's his face and hear his voice. Like, Junior is the 25-year-old version of Henry. So it should seem to dawn on him like something's going on here, but it really doesn't. It's in fact this other agent, Danny, who was kind of sent to keep tabs on Henry, and he found her out. She was working at the boat dock that he keeps his boat at, his fishing boat at in Georgia. And he figures her out as not a grad student in marine biology, but when a bunch of agents come after him, he flees to her because he's already burned her, and he figures that she's going to get killed next. So they're in the same boat together, and she's the one who spots out that, you know, Henry and Junior look alike. And she figures that Junior's a son, but then later takes some blood samples and reveals that it's a clone. And that's kind of where it gets a little weird, because, like I said, like Junior's supposed to be genetically engineered to not have any of Henry's sympathy or compassion, like I said, but in fact he still kind of winds up getting it. And like they even have, I mean, they're exactly the same, down to the fact they're allergic to bees. They have massive insomnia, and so that's kind of something else that's going on. And I mean, the film is pretty straightforward. Like, Yaris is clearly the bad guy who thinks his motivations are pure, in that he's creating soldiers that can go fight the wars so other soldiers don't have to, and so we don't have to worry about it because they're all clones. But, you know, he's still making human beings, and in fact, as Junior is growing older, he is starting to, like I said, he's getting those feelings back. And Henry is actually trying to save Junior in a way, because Henry's basically wasted his life. He doesn't have a wife or kids because he's afraid of, you know, because he's killed so many people. And he's, like I said, he's a killer, and it's like he felt that he's basically wasted whatever chance he had at love. And he wants Junior to try to have a normal life. And that's where, and it's him trying to win Junior over to his side, and Junior does begin starting to question things. And in fact, yeah, there's a big shootout at the end, and Junior does eventually come over to Henry's side, and it's then that it's revealed that there's actually a third clone. Apparently they're not realizing that Gemini means twins, not triplets. But okay, yes, there's a third clone that was also genetically engineered to not feel pain, and has even more skill that, yeah, it's like, has even more skills than even Junior, and it's like, well, then why didn't you use that guy? He probably would have done the job and done it right. But yeah, eventually Yaris is taken down, and Junior is allowed to live a normal life and live in college and be happy, and Henry gets to enjoy his retirement. Yeah, so basically he brokers a deal with the DIAES again. I will admit one of the dumber elements of this film is that the DIA exists. Like, that's the best name you could come up with, really? Like, you couldn't get the rights to use CIA, so you just chose the next letter. But like I said, overall, I had seen a few reviews that said this was a bad film. It's really not. It's not spectacular. It's not earth-changing in any way, but hey, overall, it's a pretty solid film. I'm going to give Gemini Man a C+.
Morning, fellas.
We're bringing the lumber.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
Hey, bud, we're heating gas.
Go ahead. You're bringing the electricity, right?
You better believe it, sir.
Go ahead.
Thanks, man. We're here to paint the corners.
Go ahead. Let me guess. Air conditioning?
No, we're just fans.
The countdown has begun. Target Field opens 2010.
Okay, trailer time, and we got 8 trailers this time, but only one of them was new, so it should be pretty quick to go through. We got Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars Episode 9 again, Midway again, Queen and Slim again, Ford versus Ferrari again, Black and Blue again, The Good Liar again. That's Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen, and they're both kind of playing a con game against each other. So then we get our one new trailer, which is Like a Boss. Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne play young entrepreneurs who are running, I believe, a perfume company, and they kind of call on this venture capitalist in the fashion world who basically just swipes their material and tries to pass it off as her own. It didn't look that spectacular. And then rounding things off, we have Terminator Dark Fate again. So, yeah. Like I said, I know this was late. I think if you've seen the previous videos, you know the story. The weather just was really bad this weekend, and the theater actually closed. So I took it in on Tuesday, and this is going up Wednesday. So the next movie review is going to be Maleficent, Mystery of Evil. After that, it will be Black and Blue, and then after that, it will probably be Terminator Dark Fate. After Maleficent, though, Maleficent, I guess, the next video after that is going to be the random trailer review on Invincible Iron Man: The Five Nightmares. I have finished scripting it, I just need to shoot it and record everything, so see you all next time. Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.